and I'll get started. Thank you.
We are on, you can start.
Hello, I'm Dr. Sam Hancock, the president of the Coordinating Committee for the United States of the India USA ICC. We welcome you here. Vijay, why don't you give a quick introduction of yourself, and then we're going to go right into our meeting because we have people here from the COP. They're having a recap meeting, and so we're going to respect their time, and we're going to kick off with Dr. Chris Puttick. But Vijay, introduce yourself, and then we'll get started.
Yeah, good morning, good evening, everybody. This is Past President Vijay Kevalramani from India. I am the president of India side of the India-US ICC. And I think that should be all. And let's continue with the meeting and give others a chance. Over to you, Dr.
Thank you very much. We have Dr. Chris Puttick, who is going to lead off. He had the grand title of the program manager of Rotary at COP28. I've known Chris now over almost 30 years. We've worked together on the butterfly gardens, gardening, replacing the mollusk in the Anacostia River, tree planting, many environmental projects. Chris is a true scientist. He's done extensive research in all aspects of climate change and took great leadership in the Blue Zone for COP28. So without further ado, Chris, I'm going to turn it over to you. And Vijay has your images, and we'll put those up as you're going through. And you can take about 10 minutes, and then we'll go to Yasser. Thank you, Chris.
Okay, so thank you very much, Dr. Sam. Just so everybody knows, I live in Hawaii. So it's always very early in the morning for most of my meetings. I've been a Rotarian since 2004. And my main objective in Rotary, when I first came to Rotary, was I saw that the environment was not being truly represented in our meetings. And so that's what I took up as being how to move forward. And I certainly have done that through in districts 5,000 first, and then to district 7620, where Sam is. So really my organization where I work now, volunteer virtually all my time, is with Rotary International. And I'm currently the chair of the Rotary Action Group Council. There are 25 Rotary Action Groups. And so I have the privilege of being the chair of that. And my goal with the action groups is to get them to be more engaged with each other and also with environment and humanitarian endeavors. I'm also a member of the cadre for both water and for the environment. And as Dr. Sam mentioned, I have the position of the program manager for COP28, Rotary at COP28. We've been building our presence at the COPs for the last few years, and particularly in Glasgow, where Sheikh Ahmed recognized that mangroves are really very important and something we could do as global grant projects. There were no global grant projects for mangroves at that point in time. And then in Sharm el-Sheikh, we had a delegation which was larger than previously. We had 5. And we also had 2 breakout sessions. So now in Dubai, and the image that's just being shown up right now is the image of our booth that we had. So we created for the first time the possibility of having presentations within a pavilion at COP. And this is the first time ever that Rotary has had a pavilion or a booth in any national or international event. So this is a really big thing that we were able to achieve. So our presence there, we were expanding our recognition in the world. And what we found was that many people found our booth and came to us and said, I was a a Rotary actor, or I was a scholar, or I was in Rotary for quite some time. We even had one person who came to us and said he'd been with COP in the management of COP since its very beginning. So, and all the way through till today. So this is a really great thing. We able to bring out of the woodwork many Rotarians that had association with us, and we were able to rebuild with them. We also had the opportunity, which is why I thought we really should be there, is to interact with other agencies that that are present in COP. So just to take you back just a little bit, most people don't quite recognize what COP is all about. And so there are essentially 5, you can call them rooms, I guess, 5 areas where we're associated with our activities at COP. There's the 198 countries that meet and discuss throughout the 12 days of their actions towards climate and climate change. Then there's the room that's outside of that, where those 198 countries meet with others and discuss where their position is going to be. Then the next room is where the documents are manipulated. So they've created documents that need to be signed and agreed to. And so the 198 countries have to agree to these documents. And this is where the big stumbling block is, to get the whole 198 countries to agree. And so the things that come out of COP are often small advances, but there've been some major steps this time. If you'd just like to show the slide of the report that was just released, I believe overnight or today. This is from the managers of COP, and so Sultan is there in the middle, and so this presents the content of what they saw as the consensus from COP, and I think everybody should go to this and have a read through it. It's 47 pages long, lots of pictures though, but there's also a lot of interesting content in there. And so this will tell you about some of the major things that move forward. Obviously, the loss and damage fund. There's a lot of talk towards hydrogen. There's a lot of talk towards reducing methane, or methane, as you say in America. There are lots of advances towards what small island states are suffering, and so on. So there are lots of, please read through this document. It's very informative and quite condensed of what happened. I've actually described most of what happened in our booth. We did meet with so many people. We were able to discuss with them how we can make connections, and this is one of the things I think is a really great advance for Rotary. So thank you. I think I've expended my time. I must go and set up the debriefing for our COP team, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk a little bit about us. Rotary at COP.
Yeah, Chris, if you can take about 1 more minute, maybe 2, but no more than that. What would be the 3 to 4 ideas or concrete actions that you believe came out of this COP, which is different and unique from the past, and maybe is propelling us forward in a better way towards addressing the 1.5, temperature barrier, etc.
Okay, so I've been working as the program manager for Rotary at COP. We don't have really very much interaction with what can happen from those outcomes. Those outcomes are really set up by these discussions that go on, and by our presence there, we can make a difference to what happens at future COPs. So you're asking me what are the major outcomes from COP generally. And I think I just mentioned them. Firstly, the advances with the loss and damage fund, really
Okay.
the recognition of nature as being so important that underpins virtually everything that happens across all areas. This is something that's starting to come out. I think the major changes, if you want, were recognition of the importance of doing climate action now. I think that was one of the big things that I saw come out of COP. That across all the blue zone and the green zone, this is basically all the talk. These are the actions that we can make, and then of course getting the countries to actually recognize that this is so important. We are already at 1.4 degrees. We've only got 0.1 degree to go. Most people think we're going to blow right past that, but and the importance of getting us to stop using fossil fuels. So basically, there was a movement toward certainly the recognition that fossil fuels must be either diverted in some way, changed in their use, capturing of carbon at the point of source. These are the various things that I think are going to take place. And so the end of fossil fuels is certainly something that Gutierrez and others, many others, and when you read the report, are actually focusing on the reduction of use of fossil fuels.
Okay,
Thanks.
Chris, thank you for your outstanding leadership. I know you were traveling all over the world during this time and trying to get everything organized and set up and ready to go. And it was a mighty work that you did. And in a sense, it's only just starting. So that's
Yes.
something to think about. And thank you
if I
for
can
being
just-
with us.
If I
And
can just make
we're
a
gonna-
final word, that
Yes,
is
absolutely.
Judith Diamond, who is the lead for presence at COP, will be releasing her reports very soon. She'll be giving that to the assembly and then be available to everybody to see. And that she's the person who has the final word of what our presence at COP is all about.
Okay. Chris, thank you very much. I know you need to go off to get ready for your recap meeting. And Vijay, you're going to introduce Yasser, and we'll bring on 10 minutes for Yasser, and then he'll be joining you, Chris, in your meeting. Vijay, it's back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Sam. It's a pleasure to introduce Yasser. Yasser Ataki is currently the chair of the Environmental Social Sustainability Rotary Action Group. He is actively engaged in developing projects, writing and speaking on sustainability issues around the globe. Before his retirement, he was highly accomplished senior executive with the Sabanki Group Turkey with over 27 years of experience. His professional expertise includes 22 years as a BOD level responsibilities at Sabanki's leading companies, focusing on innovation, mergers and acquisitions, strategy development, corporate restructuring and divestments of assets. He joined SREC board in 2018, partnered with fellow SREC members. He led the development of climate roadmap for significant climate initiatives at a club, district and RI levels, which are still going on. With this, I present to you Yasser, all yours.
Thank you, Vijay. Thank you, Sam. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. So allow me to start sharing my presentation. Sorry. Okay. So as Vijay mentioned, I'm the current chair of SRAG. Just to complement what Chris said, I joined Rotary because I was running an NGO before I joined, then I got an invitation to join SRAG. And after some discussions with the club members, I saw that with the Rotary, I can be more effective in the environment area. So that's why I joined Rotary in the first place. Okay, I think it is right for me to start with introducing what a Rotary Action Group is, because action groups are not well recognized by many people. So an action group is, as you can see here, is a group of Rotarians with technical expertise to support clubs in their implementation of projects. So our main focus is supporting clubs implement impactful projects, not only projects, but mostly impactful projects. So that's our main responsibility. And now coming to SRAG, SRAG is one of the largest of the Rotary Action Groups. We have more than 1,600 members in 90 plus countries, and we have quite high level members like President Gordon McInally or Ian Risley or Barry Reston. They're all our members. And in fact, on our board, we had Faiz Kidwai, NRI director, and we also had Jorge Ofranc, late Jorge Ofranc from Honduras. If you know, he was a past trustee. So our organization is down to regional level, and we have various groups with expertise, and we are quite active in the social media and so on. And we also have a climate roadmap, as mentioned a while ago. I'll come to this at the end of my presentation. So Chris spoke about the overall COP, and I want to come down to our pavilion. In our pavilion, we had close to 30 sessions organized by the Rotary delegates. I mean, they covered many things, and we also had a very strong presence with the president, Gordon, Barry Ressin, Secretary General John Hugo, and also the new president nominee, Cesar from Brazil. He was also present at our meetings. So coming to our organized meetings, as I said, there were 30 of them. And with all these, our presence is essentially, for the first time, saying that we care about climate. That's why we are here. I mean, we always wondered what the message would be, but the real message is that Rotary cares about climate, and it's there, which I think is the most important message of the whole event. Coming to the sessions, I personally organized 3 of the sessions, the one on finance, circular economy, and urbanization. And finance is an important issue because we need $50 billion and more for the transition to a decarbonized economy. And we had excellent speakers, as you can see from here. We had Lord Mayor of London. We had a professor from Barbados who was actually negotiator on behalf of the Global South in the loss and damage negotiations. So very important person. And we had other important people as well. Another session was on circular economy. Again, we have excellent speakers. For example, the first speaker, as you can see here, is from China, and he's a former president of Sinopec, China's petrochemical company, a giant. So he was a professor. He was a president over there. And also we had, I don't know if this number 7.2 is indicative of the amount of goods that are recycled back to economy, circular economy. So we also had the CEO of the organization that publishes this circularity gap report every year. He was another of the speakers. Then we had a session on the urbanization where we had Faiz Kidwai, RI director, as one of the speakers. So they were all good. Now, finally, I want to come back to the climate roadmap. Climate roadmap is something that we have been working on since last year, February. Climate roadmap essentially is the following. Now, as Rotarians, we are doing projects, but that's not important. That's not enough. This climate issue is a very humanitarian issue, and it is way above of the other areas of focus, and it needs special attention. And we thought, as the RAG in charge of environment, it is on to us to bring this issue to the table. So we have this plan. We worked on this plan, and the first of our observations was we need to engage with the leaderships, because everything starts with the leaders. Without them, we cannot go further. So we started engaging with the Rotary leaders. So we invited, for example, Barry Resson to one of our meetings. Then we invited Ian Risley to another meeting. Then we had a meeting during the summer with which we organized with Synergy Europe, where we had Stepan Urchik. So we engaged with the leadership. And we also thought that it is important that every club becomes engaged on this. We have to bring the discussion of climate to every club. So we devised this program called Every Club Climate Friendly. And third, as we have seen a while ago, $50 billion is required for the transition. So that means, as Rotarians, we have to watch our money, where the money goes. So that was the third goal in our climate roadmap. So with the leadership, we did the following. As you know, DEI started 4 or 5 years ago, and they had a task force whose charge was bringing the DEI to the attention of board and making recommendations. So we asked for a Rotary Climate Task Force to be established by the Rotary. And we also asked for a Rotary Climate Policy Statement. So the policy statement had two pieces of information. I think this was also in the invitation that Sam has sent to all of us. One is getting Rotary to be a net zero organization. So we asked the Rotary, the president for this for 2050, but they came back to us. They said, 2050 is too far in the distance. Make it 2040. So that's what we are discussing. I mean, I think just a couple of years ago, that's inconceivable to talk about something like this. And also we asked for training of all officers, from club presidents up to the governors at the International Assembly and the Rotary staff. And I just want to say one thing about the finance. Our money has to be sustainably managed, both funds, Rotary funds money, and also our club's money. And in our case, at SRAG, we walked the talk and we moved all our money from a current large American bank and moved it to a green bank in the United States. And we are even getting more money with our investment. So this is my presentation. If you have any questions, I'm ready to answer. And I wanted to take this opportunity to tell you about how we relate to COP, what we do at the Rotary. Thank you.
In queue and waiting. And so, does anyone have a question that you would like to share at this time? We have Yasser, he's very knowledgeable and very approachable as far as what he thinks and how he thinks. Any questions from anyone? Yasser, I
Sam?
think you did a great job. Looks like you answered all the questions.
Sam,
Oh,
Sam, can you hear
okay.
me?
Gopi, yes, please.
Yeah. Yasser spoke about each club becoming climate friendly. Is there a template for that you can share with clubs?
Yes, we have a team who works on this, and if you can join this Every Club Climate Friendly initiative, please go to SRAG website, and there you will see Every Club Climate Friendly. You can sign on to it, and then we have recommendations to you. We provide a carbon calculator for calculating the club's emissions. And then we provide, recommendations for reducing your emissions. And if still there are some, you can offset the remaining with the Rotary Foundation. We have made an agreement with the foundation, so foundation accepts those donations for offsetting, which will be used eventually on other climate projects.
Gopi, does that
well-
answer your question?
Well, yes and no. One is,
Okay. Do you have one more question? Go ahead. And
Going,
then,
no.
Sadaf is
Going
up.
on to the website of SRAG is okay, understood. But
Mhm.
if I'm not inclined to get into another action group or into another group, so is there something that you could share to clubs? It's some kind of a document that you can share with clubs
You don't
from
have
whatever you made in SRAG?
you don't have to be an SRAG member for that. I mean, it is the clubs that engages with, and you don't have to be an SRAG member. No
Okay.
problem. Okay, you
All
can
right.
you can use those. Our friends in the Every Club Climate Friendly team will support you. You don't have to be a member. No
All right.
problem.
Got it. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you for the questions, Gopi. Sadaf, go ahead,
Sadaf.
ask your question. Sadaf?
Oh, Sadek. Okay, that's me. Well, thank you very much, Yashar. It was very nice to listen to your presentation. And I must say that I'm very proud of being an SRAG member myself since the beginning of this term. And my district governor is overly sensitive about the climate change. Therefore, he has assigned me as district chair responsible for the environmental issues. So really, our planet is in great danger and we must do something as soon as possible. Thank you. I hope I'll have some more time later on about my global grant project related to the environment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yasser, thank you very much for being with us. Salvador is here, and we're going to introduce him right now. And I know Chris is waiting for you. He told me so.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. See you later. Bye-bye.
And thank you for your work in
Thank you.
Dubai. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Next up is going to be Salvador Rico. Salvador and I have known each other now probably about 3 or 4 years, and he's doing absolutely fantastic work focusing on rivers and everything to do with rivers, testing, water monitoring, cleanups, engaging communities to stop polluting the rivers, and also to help with cleanups. And he's been doing this since going back to 2009. So he's been at this for quite a while. But the one project he's really working on, and this is with the United Nations, the Dapa River. And so I'm going to let him have his own space to speak about this and anything else about how all this works together as far as COP is concerned. So Salvador, we're going to turn it over to you. Give just a short introduction of yourself, and then how you worked with COP, and also about your Dapa River program and anything else that you would like to share, particularly the watersheds in Mexico, which you're doing fantastic work with. And thank you for being here.
Thank you, Dr. Sam. I too was part of the delegation represented Oro International at COP28 and represented all of you, the Rotarians from around the globe. So my part was to help fundraise it. This pavilion at COP28 was very, very expensive. So we had to fundraise. It's something that is never been done. So there's no budget set aside from Oro International to be able to provide the tools and the equipment and set up such a pavilion at a stage, world stage, as COP28. You can imagine there's an enormous amount of requests from different organizations, from different governments to be able to have a presence at the Blue Zone. The Blue Zone is the area where only government officials and NGOs affiliated with the United Nations are allowed to go into. Rotary being one of them. Probably the first one since the inception of the United Nations. So again, that was my role, and something that we continue to prepare. We're preparing already for the next COP29 and COP30. That will be the next one in Cabo, Azerbaijan next year, and the following year will be in Brazil. Happens to be that COP30 is when the president of Oro International will be Mario, who is also from Brazil. So for us, what we wanted to do at COP, and I put in the chat 2 links for 2 videos. They're lengthy, but something that you need to watch on your own time. Copy the video links, put them on save them on your computer, and watch them on your own time. One of them is about an hour long. The other one is about 10 minutes long. That was 10 minutes long is the one where we hosted the Mayor Alliance from the alliance of all the mayors from along the Mississippi River in the United States. Made an agreement, signed an agreement of cooperation with a representative from the mission to clean Ganga from India, Ashok Kumar. He's the director of national mission to clean River Ganga, and both of those organizations signed an agreement of cooperation. Ashok Kumar, the representative of National Mission to Clean River Ganga, is representing all of the cities in the entire country of India. It is a Cities Alliance, River Cities Alliance. And what that does is that they're encouraging governments from all over the world. This is the first one that was signed, and also they signed with other mayors, different countries as well. But the one in Rotary was symbolic because I have been attending myself every year the meetings with the mayors from along the Mississippi here in the United States. Learning from them on the organizations, learning from them that the fact it doesn't matter what political arena or what political party you belong to, you are serving the people, you're serving the community, you're serving the globe, you're serving humanity. And I've seen firsthand that the mayors work with each other to be able to help their communities all along the Mississippi corridor, which is the biggest watershed in the entire United States. It covers probably 2/3 of the entire country. So a watershed is basically where a single drop of water starts to be able to go into a river. And why is so important of the watersheds? Well, Chris mentioned about the Loss of Biodiversity Act. And what they're trying to do now at COP is to be able to work on nature-based solutions. Well, if we don't take care of the watershed, we lose vegetation. We lose vegetation, climate change increases. We lose the rivers, we lose the vegetation again. We lose water on the aquifers. We become a desert area, and that also affects climate change. It actually puts climate change in overdrive. What that means is that it accelerates climate change if we lose biodiversity. That's why I'm so into taking care of the rivers, and not just simply the rivers because of garbage or pollution, is because of that biodiversity that is so important for all of us. And so what do we get out of this COP, this climate summit, is that we need to take action now. We cannot wait for tomorrow. We need to start today, and we need to start doing much more than what we've done. Yasar mentioned about projects. Well, projects are the beginning of a program. Projects are important just as in science, trial and error is science. Projects are the trial and errors for programs to be able to be established in the region, in the country, in the continent, and around the globe itself. So for us as Rotarians, having a presence at the Climate Summit, COP28, was huge. Chris mentioned earlier, yes, we met dozens of Rotarians that are representing their countries from different countries around the globe, representing different NGOs, their industries that are working to restore climate, to restore the environment. And for them, seeing that finally Rotary has a pavilion, they felt that they were not alone. And so one thing I can tell all of you is we're not alone at all. There is many people working, trying to restore the climate, trying to improve the environment for future generations. But we need to start today. And that symbolic agreement between National Mission to Clean River Ganga and MRCTI, Mississippi Cities and Towns Initiative, Mississippi River Cities and Towns Initiatives, it was symbolic, but it's the first one of many. The first one of many to come, that governments are working and willing to cooperate with your Rotary clubs to restore the watersheds where you live. That's how we start getting the job done, making sure that nature is being restored, that we stop pollution, that we stop garbage. And another video that I put in there, like I said, it's about over an hour long, is about the River Motagua. It's about the River Motagua and the project that has been taken in 3 countries in 1 district to restore and eliminate the pollution. The garbage and all the pollution that comes out of the rivers either benefits the oceans or destroys the ecosystem. The River Motagua is dumping over 20,000 metric tons of garbage per year into the Caribbean Ocean, which is the 2nd largest coral reef in the entire planet. I imagine that if we don't take on this challenge, and the Rotarians took on this challenge and jump on it with both feet, knowing for a fact that it's a huge task, but we Rotarians never back down. We have taken on the challenge to eradicate polio. We're almost done with it, and we're already taken on bigger challenges as well. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. Because we need to leave a better world for future generations, and we cannot stand still. So again, those are just the 2 little videos that I can share with you. There are plenty more. There are many, many more. We faced many challenges at COP28. Fundraising was extremely difficult, and again, I was the lead to fundraise. So I'm asking you now, prepare yourselves and be ready to donate next year. We're going to start the fundraising probably in January, as soon as we receive the green light from the board of trustees at the Rotary Foundation. And then we'll share it with everybody because it is important for all of us to have a presence in such events like the Climate Summit. I want to see my beloved Rotary Foundation, the Rotary International, to have a presence there because it's representing us. It's representing all of us Rotarians from all over the world, that we are in the world stage, that we actually do great work, and sharing the importance of the projects that we're doing, such as that one and such as the other one that is, making a new coral reef in Mexico by sinking a Navy ship. That is something that has never been done in the Rotary world, but it is being done now. And again, we're working really hard to make a better world for our future generations, and we need that cooperation from all of you.
Salvador, you're about ready to leave us because you need to get over to the COP recap meeting. Tell us about 1 minute about Adopt a River program and why it's so important.
So again, I've already mentioned about the watershed itself. Adopt a River is adopting, working and finding alliances within your community and all along the river watershed itself, and from where it begins. So let's say you live in India, it begins in the Himalayas, it begins on the mountains and ends all the way on the ocean. And all of the Rotary clubs along any kind of the river that you live in this case, whether it's the United States or India or any country, is working with your Rotary clubs to work with the local agencies, the governments, to make sure that the rivers are healthy, that the rivers are clean and pristine, just like nature intended them to be. Adopting a river is adopting for long term. It's just like adopting a child. You do not adopt a child for one day. You adopt it for life. And that's what it's supposed to be. So there's much more to come. You will see next month. There's going to be a big announcement coming up. I cannot share more, but it's about cooperating, getting yourselves ready, getting the job done, and forming alliances within your community. And again, it is not about forming alliances with political parties. It is not about that. It's forming alliances with the organization, with your local governments, because administrations come and go, but the Rotary clubs stay, and that's what's important.
Okay. Thank you, Salvador. I know you need to run off to your other meeting, and thank you for being with us. And if you could send me those links, Salvador, by email, I'll put them in the email. If you can send it by email, I'll put it in the minutes that we're sending out to everybody.
I'll send the email. I'll send it via email. Yes, sir. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being with us. Okay, VJ, we had our main speakers on, and thank you everyone for being with us and being very patient. They have meetings following up as far as the COP28 and now getting ready for COP29, which is going to be in Baku, Azerbaijan. And then, as we heard, the one for COP30 will be back in Brazil. Where it started, it's circling back. And also that'll be the same year that we have the Rotary International president will be from Brazil. So VJ, I'm going to turn it back to you. And we do have one other speaker here can come on that was part of the COP as well. This is Dr. Damon Walia. Damon, I think you have about 3 or 4 slides. If you can put those on and take about 3 minutes. And then we're going to do VJ, if you don't mind, then we'll start with our introductions. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, Damon, please.
Yes.
Larry, I see you're here, and we're going to go through and talk about the Peace March, and just give us some time to finish the COP28, and then we'll be back into your realm as far as peace poles and the peace groves. And thank you for being here today.
All right.
Damon,
Yeah,
about 3 minutes.
All right. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate to get to know many of you, especially from India. I am from India 53 years ago, still involved with India in many different ways. I do want to kind of share with you.
Damon, can you bring up a single slide? You've got your whole slide deck.
Right. I'm trying to see how I can do it. Let me see.
I think you only had about 2 or 3 slides you wanted to share.
Right,
so-
right. Yeah, I just wanna see if I can. Oh, so I have to be approved.
VJ, can you help Damon?
Yeah,
Lisa?
here you go. All right. So I want to share with you because we have a lot of I'm scientist by education. I've been involved with these issues for about 50 plus years, developing and deploying solutions which deal with all of these issues in pollution, climate change, and in fact, I was scheduled to go to make a presentation in the Blue Zone at Rotary at this particular event, but my family got hit with COVID, so my doctor put me on a quarantine, so I had to cancel that. Now I want to just share with you one slide. Here you go, and see if you can see this slide. So what I want to share with you as a scientist, see, we have 5 different storehouses of carbon in our planet. The number one are the sedimentary rocks. Oops, I hope you can see this slide. And these are sedimentary rocks, fossil fuels, and then we have, of course, oceans, and then the 4th are the soil, and the 5th is our air. So what we have done to our planet is that we are impacting the 2 of the our most important carbon storehouses. We are taking the fossil fuels, burning it and producing carbon and putting into air. And at the same time, we are stripping the soil. In fact, in India, 60% of the soil is in a very bad condition. Worldwide, it's almost 50%. So what my solution is we take coal and produce a product which helps to rebalance both of these storehouses. So this is a lowest hanging fruit. So what we are making a case to make the farmers to farm the carbon. So with the use of the nature-based solutions, which is a photosynthesis, so we can help increase the capture of the carbon from the air and put it into the soil and rebalance these. And we're doing this in many countries. In USA, we have farmers using these products and increasing the organic matter or fertility of the soil, at the same time increasing the the crop yields by 20% and as well as their quality. So here I kind of show as a balance, because we're currently out of balance because our sinks are less, our sources which we are emitting, so our temperature is going up. So with this approach, we can bring this into a balance. So based on about 38 billion acres of land we have under farmlands, even if we apply to 10% of the land, we can pretty much bring to net zero equivalent to the total emissions of carbon during year 2022. And at the same time, add an additional $1 trillion economy to the global and change the lot of the farmers who have been chronically in a very dire situation worldwide, not only in India, but all over the world. We can increase in double to triple their income. So not only they are making money from increased crop yields, but also they're getting paid for farming carbon. That is my simple solution, simple message. And I think this is the path which can help us to really achieve this objective we have. And so I'm working, I go back to my involvement with Rotaries. My grandfather in Nabha, India, who was a president of Rotary Club going back in 1950s. And my indoctrination was to serve tea, because the Rotary Club meeting used to be held at our home. And he was quite involved in doing a number of community projects in India. And some of you are from India. In fact, I would like to also request that if any one of you can identify the Rotary Club history in Nabha, Punjab, and if you can find any photos or anything, I would love to be able to see those and see what activities are still going on there. I'm currently financially supporting the Global Grant.
Last minute, Damon, and we have to
Yes.
move on.
All right, I'm done. All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you very much. And we'll follow up on this.
right.
VJ, we have Larry here. Do you want us to go ahead and let him speak and talk about the Peace Polls and the Peace March, or do you want to introduce our members both from India and the United States first?
Don't mind, we have 9 minutes to close the meeting, so however you want to adjust, you can.
Okay, I tell you what, why don't we quickly go around? You want to introduce our Indian guest, and then I'll introduce the ones that we have here from the United States, and then Larry will go out with you if that's okay.
Fine. So from India side, we have two guests. One is the Vice President from the India side, Satish. Satish, can you introduce yourself in 2 lines, your club, district, and vocation? Please unmute, Satish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you able to hear me? My voice is okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Very good evening and good morning to all the participants here. I am Satish from 3160. It's a part of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka and Andhra. It's the south part of India. I am last year governor. Now I am IPDG. And with the help of you all people, I would like to do some projects also in my district. Already in my year, I did 6 projects, global grant projects, cancer equipment and neonatal equipment, all these, so many things we did. Anyway, now today we had very good information from this meeting, environment protection and all the things, rivers and soil, really so much important things we had information from you all people. Definitely, I too wish to do some good work for all these elements, soil and rivers, especially, of course, anything, anyway, and environment also. As he told that I too will get registered, my club also definitely mobilize my all clubs also to get registered in ISRA portal, and we will do something better to all your information. Thank you all.
Now, Gopi, please, I can ask if I can request you to start your video and make yourself visible first, and then introduce yourself.
All right, here I am. Thank you very much, Vijay. I'm N.K. Gopinath, past president of the Rotary Club of Madras, which is the 3rd oldest club in India. We are currently in our 95th year, and I was the 76th president of my club. So that's it in brief. And Dambad Walia, I have a list of clubs that were formed from 1920, which was the Calcutta Club, up until 1948. So I will send you, I'll locate that and send you, I don't know by how, but then I'll probably try and get your WhatsApp number or whatever and send that to you.
I will put this in the chat, my email contact. And I've sent some emails to some individuals who hopefully they can see.
That's the only thing I could probably give you. If it's a club formed before 1948, then NABA will be there in that. But if not, that will not be there too. So, I'll see if I can get further information. I'll try to send it to you.
I will appreciate.
But in the meanwhile, I would appreciate that you read our history book, which I'll post an ebook on, to you also. We are in the 95th year, as I said, the 3rd oldest club. And we have a 3rd edition of our history book, which I'll post to you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Dr. Sam, that's all from India.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead. Natalie, why don't you introduce yourself? And then I'll introduce Sadif. She's from Turkey, but I'll claim her. And then we'll go to Larry. And I don't know if we have others from the United States or not. Natalie?
No.
About 1 minute, please. Be quick.
Okay. My name is Natalie Verjan, and I am from Rotary Club of Beaverton. In my club, I am working with on Peace Pole projects, also Peace Builders Club. And with Dr. Sam, with Larry, we have very successful 4 years. installing peace poles in Russia, Georgia, Armenia, and now we're moving forward in that part of the world with District 2452, which contest 9 countries. And now I'm very glad work with all of you on peace poles in India, continue our project with my leaders, mentors, Larry and Dr. Sam, because I really have personal interest to your country, to India. My interest and love come from even back to Armenia many, many years ago. And when Indira Gandhi visited Armenia, it was very nice, warm visit. I was very, very young, but I remember and impressed. And you know what? Sometimes people call Yerevan, this is kind of Indian city, because we have lots of Indian movies in one movie theater, and Raj Kapoor always was there. And I dance Indian dances anywhere. This is other things. But why I'm doing peace poles? Because I'm daughter of veteran World War II, and this is kind of in my blood. Now work on peace, and I'm so glad, so happy I have that opportunity in my Rotary, in Rotary International. Thank you having me.
Sadif, why don't you jump in, please? And about 1 minute, and you can work in about your a green project in Turkey. Sadif, are you here? Maybe we lost her. Larry, we said we would adjourn, and then we could talk about the peace march in India. Why don't you go ahead and talk about the peace poles, why they're important, and then how does this fit into what we want to do as far as India is concerned?
Yeah, do you know, Dr. Sam, that Mahatma Gandhi wrote an article in the Rotarian magazine?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'll share that with everybody. It's part of Mike Caruso and my peace presentation. But we're working in a world right now that's people are killing each other to create peace through peace poles, through Rotary QR code, which explains peace to people, why we're doing this. And we're doing this, you know, Natalia started in Russia, all the way across to Australia. We think there are over 200,000 peace poles planted in the world. And my New Year's resolution for this group is to go from this is a great idea in India to put a plan together to make it happen. So I think that's the agenda for a peace march, a peace garden for peace poles. We don't know where, we don't know how many, but let's put the committee together to make it happen.
Yeah, and you're saying exactly what I wanted you to say, Larry, that we want to get together and probably we'll either have a meeting here or we'll have a special called meeting and just focus on the peace marches that Mahatma Gandhi led in India. And let's do that right after the first of the year because, as you know, things are shutting down in the U.S. and around the globe. So
yeah, let's not do it in this venue. Let's do it separately.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We'll probably have a special called meeting, and we'll you and I will get together and we'll talk with VJ and see what he would like.
If I can just add something, Dr. Sam.
Go ahead, VJ.
Yeah, as discussed earlier, I am planning a peace conference of India ICC, India-US ICC somewhere in February. And as we discussed, I believe, Satish, would your district be interested in hosting the International Peace Conference? So we can do it in end February with the India-USA ICC.
Okay.
Satish.
Yeah, Sam. In the month of February ending.
February ending, it's a peace month. So if we can have an international peace conference involving districts from India and US, and maybe invite other districts also.
Yeah,
We can target audience up to 1,000.
If
Okay.
I
About
may,
how many people would you like to have there, VJ?
At least we can, if we target plan well, we can have 500 to 700 people safely.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't know if you'll get that many from the United
Satish,
States.
if you are okay, otherwise I'll speak to my DG. You can just let me know.
Definitely, my
I
district
think
will be joining you.
we just want to get it started, VJ. So whatever we can do, we'll certainly promote it here. And, Larry and I will chat over the holidays.
Larry and Natalie, there we can explain your concept of peace walk and peace polls to the people physically, which will help us get us to a larger audience in India.
Okay. Yeah, and also too, Natalie has been working on the Rotary clubs in India that match up with the routes.
But matching up and connecting individual clubs is difficult. But here, if we get a host of people and then we can send across our message, maybe we'll get a good connect and a good response.
Okay, I think it's a fantastic idea. Larry, what do you
we
think?
can plan on it. Otherwise, I will speak to my district governor. But if you do it, it will be well and good, and we can do it as a joint.
We will have a talk, Vijay. We will talk about that. And the important thing is, on February 19th, 18th, and the 19th, my daughter's marriage is there. My elder daughter is a doctor working with Apollo, and her marriage is fixed. And it will be on Feb 17th, 18th, and 19th. So hardly another 10 days will be there for the end of February. And working for that, I think taking totally from my district would be a bit problematic, I think. Definitely I will join. My district will definitely join, Vijay.
Okay, fine.
But we will definitely work on that, no problem.
I'll plan something.
Total initiative, total on my shoulder means it would be a bit problem for time.
Not on your shoulder, your district team could have taken it up. It would be
definitely. That's what.
Yeah, and just one.
We'll plan it out. We'll plan it out.
Larry?
Stephanie Urchik, our president-elect for Rotary International, will be holding a peace conference in Turkey in February 2025 during her year as Rotary president. So that's brand new information.
That's what she has announced already.
2025, Larry?
I think that was announced in the October 23 board resolution.
Okay.
Yeah, 2025 with the opening of the new peace center in Turkey.
Yeah, Gopi, you're saying something?
Vijay and Sam, I have information for both Larry as well as Natalie. So first, I go with Natalie. Natalie, you might be interested to know that Chennai, the city I come from, has had a long history with Armenia. In fact, we have an Armenian street even now, and we have an Armenian church. And also, you would be pleased to know that the Honorary Consul General for Armenia is a member of my club. So this is as far as Armenia is concerned. So, and as for Larry, you spoke about Mahatma Gandhi and the write-up in the Rotarian magazine. You would also be pleased to know that in 1925, he addressed the Rotary Club of Calcutta, which is the first Rotary Club in India, which was inaugurated in September 1919 and chartered on January 1, 1920. So that's for your information.
Thank you.
And I have the copy of his whole speech.
Yeah, if I may interject, of course, to achieve this.
We're gonna soon close up here, so let's be quick.
I'm gonna share something very valuable to you all. Instead of, we can hold marches, we can do these things, but the word peace is not actually, the problems are increasing. In fact, I have right now offered an approach to Israel, to Hamas, to how to achieve a long sustaining peace by not creating just a two-state, but creating a something like a Middle East union, like pattern after European Union. So because a lot of the problems we are having is that we have these leaders who want to maintain certain boundaries so they can be the today's royalty. So what even for India to achieve a peace with Pakistan, which has not been achieved, India, Pakistan, and many of these countries need to create a Asian Union. In my opinion, European Union has been one of the best example as a way to where many countries can come together, open up their borders, create a flow of ideas and the e-commerce and other things. So Rotary needs to maybe look into what can they offer a concrete, something which is, I'm a scientist. I analyze problems going back to the human early inception to today and then develop, solutions, but why the current approaches are not working, what other approach we need to do. So I just want to put this thought in your mind. I have plenty of other things on my plate. So, but I do want to share with you that I'm very interested in having a global peace.
Okay,
Thank you
thank
very
you for
much.
sharing. Sadif, you've got
Doctor-
about 30 seconds. Sadif?
He's not getting
Sadiq,
us. I think we can,
she's not responding.
Dr. Sam, we can adjourn the meeting and then this
Okay.
peace
Yeah,
conference we can
I
discuss
think
in a
we're-
week's time.
I
In
think
1
we're
week's
about
time
done.
we'll- Yeah.
I think we're about done.
I have
Yeah,
I
we
think
can-
your idea, of a peace conference is a good one. Why don't you think about that and share the dates?
We'll discuss in the first week of January and then we'll see how is it possible.
Okay,
And then
all
we
right.
can-
That sounds good. Thank you very much. Okay,
Yeah,
you wanna go ahead and close this out?
Even Gopi can let us know if they would be interested in taking up their district and then we can take it up.
Okay.
Yeah,
You want to
so
close this
we-
out, Vijay?
All yours, you can do it, no problem. Most welcome. So friends, thank you. Thank you for joining. And it was a good informative talk on the COP28 outcomes. Looking forward to see you all again. And I would like to adjourn the meeting.